Now when you first start MAMP, over here on the left, you click on the MAMP button, you can see that MAMP is running and the Apache server is running and the MySQL server is running. You can start and stop the servers at any time, and the preferences we talked about in the setup guide. So that all should be okay. When you first start MAMP, MAMP will load the MAMP welcome page into the browser. And over here in the third tab it says phpMyAdmin. This is the setup or the console for administrating the MySQL database. So let's click on it. And here's the main page. Now over on the left you can see a bunch of databases that are already set up. Now we want to create a new database using that .sql file which you downloaded from Moodle. So let's go to the Databases tab here. We want to create a new empty database. We're going to call it Students and just create. Okay, it created the database, but note there's nothing in it yet. So let's click on the database and we want to import the data from the .sql file. So click on Import. Then over here on Choose File, we navigate to the .sql file, and mine is right here. Notice it's inside the students website along with the rest of the site. And just open it. And select, just go with all the defaults and press Go. Okay, it says the import was successful. Just to make sure, because well, I like to make sure, let's issue a SQL statement to the database. Let's select all columns from the student table and press Go. And there's the data in the database. Now over here on the left you can see here is the students database, and within the database is a single table called student, and if you click on that you can see that there are some columns in the database, and there they are. So you can, I'm not going to add any new columns, but these are the same columns that were used in the photo app which I showed you last week. Okay, now that we have the database, we need to create a user that can access this database. So let's go back home. And let's go to the database, and we want to assign privileges. So up here on the top, we want to assign privileges to a user to access this database. So we're going to add a user, and let's call that user DB user. And that user can access this database only from the local host, meaning this computer. The password, I'll just set it to password. It's not secure, but for this, it's okay. And scroll down a bit. We want to give this user all rights to the database, so just check all. And then over here, I have to move this a bit. Just click on Go. That's slow. Click on Go. Okay, so it's granted those rights to the DB user to talk to the student database. Now, just to make sure that worked, I'm going to go to the site and see if I can still retrieve the data out of the database. And let's see. It says it's processing. There it goes. Okay, so the database is working now. So let's go back and review what we just did. So if I go back home, let's collapse this. Here we have the databases over here. We went to the Databases tab, and we entered the name of the new database, we called it Students, and we said Create. That created the database here. Then we clicked on the database and did an import, selected the .sql file, and then press Go. After it imported the data, we went to Privileges, and we added a user. And we gave it a name, DB user, You can only connect from the local host, and we entered the password. We did a check call to assign all rights to this user, and then we pressed go, and that's it. So that's it in a nutshell. You first create the database, you import the data into the database, and then you create a database user and give that user rights to the database. So have a go at that and see how you get on. Bye.